Welcome to HFY Stories. If you're ready for jaw-dropping stories and a universe full of excitement, hit that subscribe button like it's the big red button in a space opera. Give us a like if you're feeling that interstellar vibe and comment below to join the conversation. The tribute demand. The Galactic Empire, a vast and powerful conglomerate of different alien species, had ruled the galaxy for centuries. It imposed its will on weaker civilizations, demanding tribute as a sign of loyalty and submission. Planets that paid the tribute enjoyed the protection of the empire, while those that defied it faced dire consequences. Most species learned to comply, knowing that resistance was futile. Earth was a relatively new addition to the galactic scene. Having only recently discovered faster-than-light travel, humans had quickly established themselves as capable traders and explorers. Their tenacity and adaptability made them notable, but they were still considered a minor player by the Galactic Empire. One day, a fleet of Empire warships entered the Sol system, positioning themselves menacingly around Earth. The lead ship, a colossal battleship known as the Dominion, opened a channel to the planet below. On every human screen, a message appeared, displaying the face of High Lord Soren, a towering reptilian alien with dark scales and glowing yellow eyes. His voice, deep and commanding, echoed through the communication networks. "People of Earth," Katarin began, his tone dripping with disdain. "You are now under the jurisdiction of the Galactic Empire. As a sign of your loyalty, you are required to pay tribute to the Empire. Failure to comply will result in the destruction of your cities and the enslavement of your people. You have one Earth week to deliver the tribute." Panic spread across Earth like wildfire. Governments convened emergency meetings, scientists tried to analyze the alien technology, and military leaders scrambled to assess the threat. The demand for tribute was clear, but the question remained: would humanity comply or resist? In a secret meeting deep within the halls of the United Nations, world leaders debated their options. Some argued for compliance, fearing the wrath of the Empire's warships. Others pushed for resistance, unwilling to bow to alien demands. The room was filled with tension until General Marcus Kane, a seasoned military strategist, stood to speak. "Humans don't pay tribute," Kane declared firmly. "We fought for our freedom for centuries. We won't start bowing down to anyone now. We need to send a message that we are not to be trifled with." The room fell silent as the leaders considered Kane's words. After a long pause, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Helen Richards, nodded. "General Kane is right. If we give in now, we'll be giving up our sovereignty forever. We need to show them that humanity will not be intimidated. Let's prepare a response." Kane and Richards worked tirelessly to draft a message to the Empire, carefully choosing their words to convey defiance without outright declaring war. The message was simple but powerful. The people of Earth will not pay tribute. We value our freedom above all else. Any act of aggression will be met with resistance. As the message was sent, the people of Earth held their breath, waiting for the Empire's reaction. The tension was palpable, the silence deafening. Days passed without a response, and a sense of unease settled over the planet. What would the Empire do now? High Lord Soren received the message aboard the Dominion. His eyes narrowed as he read the defiant words, a low growl escaping his throat. He turned to his advisors, his voice cold and menacing. "It seems these humans have chosen defiance," Soren hissed. "Prepare the fleet. If they will not pay tribute, we will make an example of them. Let all the galaxy see what happens to those who dare to defy the Empire." The Dominion's engines rode to life, and the Empire fleet began to move. Earth was about to face a trial like no other. Humanity's resolve would be tested, and the outcome would determine their place in the galaxy. The stage was set for confrontation that would echo through the stars. The unexpected ally. As the Empire fleet advanced toward Earth, humanity prepared for the worst. Military forces were mobilized, defenses were strengthened, and citizens were urged to take shelter. Tension hung heavy in the air, and every passing hour felt like an eternity. Earth's leaders knew that their chances against the Empire's overwhelming firepower were slim, but they were determined to stand their ground. In a hidden underground bunker, General Kane and Secretary General Richards monitored the situation closely. A holographic display showed the Empire fleet's movements, their ships inching closer to Earth's orbit. Kane's jaw was set, his eyes hard as he studied the display. "We're outnumbered and outgunned," Kane muttered. "Our only hope is to buy time and hope that the Empire underestimates us. If we can survive the initial assault, we might be able to mount a counterattack." Richards nodded, her expression grim. "We need to show them that we're not easy prey. If we can inflict some damage, maybe they'll think twice about pushing us further." As the two discussed their strategy, a sudden alert flashed on the display. A new ship had entered the Sol system, its design unlike any the humans had seen before. The ship was sleek and dark, with an angular design that spoke of advanced technology. It moved swiftly, positioning itself between Earth and the Empire fleet. "What the hell is that?" Kane exclaimed, his eyes widening in surprise. Before they could react, a communication signal was received from the mysterious ship. The image of a tall, humanoid figure appeared on the screen. The figure's skin was a shimmering silver, and its eyes glowed with an inner light. It spoke in a calm, melodic voice. "People of Earth, I am Aaron of the Zanari. We are allies of humanity, though you may not know us. We have observed your species for some time, and we respect your courage and determination. We stand against the tyranny of the Galactic Empire. Today, we will fight by your side." Kane and Richards exchanged stunned looks. They had never heard of the Zanari, but the offer of help was more than welcome. Kane quickly composed himself and nodded to the screen. "We appreciate your support, Aaron," Kane said. "But why are you helping us? What do you gain from this?" Aaron's eyes softened, and a faint smile appeared on his lips. The Zanari believe in the right of all beings to live free from oppression. The Empire's demands for tribute are unjust, and their rule is based on fear. We have seen what they do to those who defy them. We cannot stand by and do nothing. As Aaron spoke, the Dominion hailed the Zanari ship. High Lord Saren's face appeared on the screen, his expression filled with rage. "Zanari, you dare to interfere?" Saren spat. "This is none of your concern. Leave now or face the consequences." Aaron remained calm, his gaze steady. "The Zanari will not allow the Empire to bully the innocent. If you wish to harm Earth, you will have to go through us first." Saren's eyes blazed with anger, and he ended the transmission abruptly. The Empire fleet began to spread out, preparing for battle. The humans and their unexpected allies readied themselves for the fight of their lives. The first shots were fired, and the space above Earth lit up with the glow of energy weapons. The Zanari ship moved with incredible speed, weaving through the Empire's formation, its weapons lashing out with precision. Human ships, though fewer in number, joined the fray, focusing their fire on the nearest enemy vessels. Despite being outmatched, the combined forces of Earth and the Zanari managed to hold their ground. Empire ships exploded one by one, their debris scattering into the void. High Lord Taran watched from the Dominion, his fury growing with each passing moment. He had not expected this level of resistance. "Release the war drones," Caxarin ordered, his voice echoing through the command center. "Crush them all." As swarms of war drones poured from the Empire ships, the battle intensified. Earth's defenders fought with everything they had, but the drones' numbers were overwhelming. For every drone destroyed, 2 more took its place. The Zanari ship was holding its own, but even it was beginning to show signs of strain. Amid the chaos, Aaron's voice came over the communication channel. "General Kane, we cannot hold them off much longer. You must activate your planet's defense grid now, or all will be lost." Kane's eyes widened in realization. The defense grid was a last resort measure, a powerful energy shield designed to protect Earth from orbital bombardment. It had never been tested in real combat. If it failed, Earth would be defenseless. "Do it," Kane ordered. "Activate the grid." As the order was given, the sky above Earth shimmered, and a faint, translucent shield enveloped the planet. The drones that attempted to breach the shield were vaporized on contact. The Empire fleet's bombardment was absorbed by the shield's energy, leaving Earth untouched. The tide of battle had turned. With the defense grid activated, Earth's defenders gained a much-needed reprieve. The combined firepower of the humans and the Zanari began to push back the Empire forces, driving them further from Earth. High Lord Sauron's expression twisted with rage. He slammed his fist onto the command console, his eyes blazing with fury. "This is not over," Sauron snarled. "Fall back. We will return, and next time, there will be no mercy." The Empire fleet began to withdraw, the surviving ships turning away from Earth and jumping to hyperspace. The battle was over, but the threat of the Empire still loomed. Humanity had won this round, but the war was far from over. The gathering storm. As the Empire fleet retreated, a wave of relief swept over Earth. The people rejoiced, celebrating their unexpected victory. However, the leaders of Earth knew that this was only a temporary respite. The Empire would return, and when they did, they would come with greater force. In the aftermath of the battle, General Kane and Secretary General Richards met with Aaron aboard the Zanari ship. The sleek interior of the vessel was filled with advanced technology, its walls adorned with glowing symbols that pulsed with a gentle light. Aaron stood before them, his expression calm and serene. "You fought bravely," Aaron said, his voice filled with respect. "The Zanari are honored to have stood with you. But you must know that the Empire will not give up. They will come back, stronger than before." Kane nodded, his face set in determination. "We're aware of that. We need to prepare, and we could use your help. Will the Zanari stand with us when the Empire returns?" Aaron's eyes glowed brighter, and he inclined his head. "The Zanari do not abandon their allies. We will stand with you, General Kane. But we must be strategic. The Empire is vast, and its resources are nearly limitless. We need to find a way to weaken them, to strike at the heart of their power." Richards leaned forward, her expression thoughtful. "Do you have any information that could help us? Anything about the Empire's weaknesses?" Aaron's gaze shifted, and he hesitated for a moment before speaking. "There is a resistance movement within the Empire. Many species chafe under their rule, but they lack the strength to rise up. If we can unite the resistance, we could create a coalition strong enough to challenge the Empire's dominance." Kane's eyes lit up with interest. "A coalition. That could work. If we can rally enough support, we could turn the tide against the Empire. But how do we find these resistance groups?" Aaron raised a hand, and a holographic map of the galaxy appeared before them. Points of light marked different star systems, highlighting areas of potential resistance. These are the systems where the resistance is most active. We will need to travel to these worlds, gain their trust, and convince them to join our cause. It will be dangerous, but it is our best chance. Richard studied the map, her mind racing with possibilities. "We'll need to send envoys, build alliances, and prepare our defenses. This won't be easy, but if we can unite the galaxy against the Empire, we might just have a chance." As the meeting concluded, Aaron offered his hand to Kane. "The Zanari are with you, General Kane. Together, we will fight for the freedom of all beings." Kane shook Aaron's hand, a sense of hope filling his heart. "Thank you, Aaron. With your help, we might just pull this off." As the humans and the Zanari began to plan their next steps, the Empire was far from idle. High Lord Sauron seethed with anger, his mind consumed with thoughts of revenge. He had underestimated the humans and their allies, and it had cost him dearly. But he would not make the same mistake twice. In the dark corridors of the Dominion, Hexarin met with his most trusted advisors. Plans were laid out, strategies discussed. Hexarin's voice was cold and calculating as he gave his orders. The humans think they have won, but they are fools. We will strike at their allies, isolate them, and crush them one by one. We will make an example of them so that all will see the futility of resisting the Empire. As the Empire prepared for its next move, the stage was set for a galactic conflict that would shape the future of the galaxy. The humans had defied the Empire, and now the fate of countless worlds hung in the balance. The coming battle would be one of courage, unity, and determination. Humanity would stand tall, refusing to pay tribute, and their message would echo through the stars. Freedom is worth fighting for. The final stand months passed, and the galaxy was a whirlwind of activity. The Zanari had used their networks to contact the resistance groups scattered across the Empire's territories. Slowly but surely, alliances were formed, and the coalition against the Galactic Empire began to take shape. From the desert worlds of the Arrakans to the jungle planets of the Ilvari, species that had long suffered under the Empire's iron fist joined the cause. On Earth, preparations were in full swing. The defense grid was upgraded, fleets were expanded, and new weapons were developed. Human engineers and scientists worked around the clock, pushing the limits of their technology to ensure that Earth would be ready for the coming storm. General Kane and Secretary General Richards coordinated with the Zanari, their days filled with strategy meetings and diplomatic negotiations. They knew that time was running out. The Empire would not wait forever. Every day that passed brought the inevitable confrontation closer. In the heart of the Empire, High Lord Tsarin was furious. Reports of resistance activity were pouring in from all over the galaxy. The humans and their Zanari allies were emboldening others to defy the Empire's rule. Catharin's reputation was at stake, and he would not allow these upstarts to undermine his authority. Prepare the fleet. Hexarin wrote to his commanders. We will crush the resistance and bring the humans to their knees. Assemble every ship, every soldier. This time, we will show no mercy. The Empire fleet, now larger and more formidable than ever, began to move. Thousands of warships, bristling with weapons, converged on Earth's position. The final battle was approaching, and both sides knew that the outcome would decide the fate of the galaxy. As the Empire fleet arrived in the Sol system, the coalition forces were ready. Human ships, Zanari vessels, and those of countless other species stood side by side, forming a vast defensive line. The space around Earth was filled with ships, all prepared to fight for their freedom. High Lord Tsarin's voice echoed across the communication channels, a final ultimatum to the defenders. This is your last chance, humans. Surrender and pay tribute, or face total annihilation. General Kane stood on the bridge of the Earth flagship, his face set with determination. He activated the communicator, his voice calm and resolute. We will never pay tribute, Katarin. We fight for freedom, for the right to live our lives as we choose. If you want Earth, you'll have to take it by force. With those words, the battle began. The void of space erupted into chaos as ships clashed, energy beams lancing through the darkness. Explosions lit up the blackness, and the sound of battle filled the comm channels. The Empire's war drones swarmed forward, but this time, the coalition was ready. Zanari fighters sliced through the drone formations, their advanced weapons cutting down the enemy with precision. Human ships unleashed a barrage of missiles, targeting the larger Empire vessels. Despite their efforts, the Empire's sheer numbers began to take their toll. The coalition was holding its ground, but the battle was far from won. Hexarin watched from the bridge of the Dominion, his eyes cold and calculating. He had a plan, a final move that would turn the tide. Prepare the superweapon, Hexarin ordered. We will destroy their planet and end this resistance once and for all. As the Dominion's superweapon charged, a massive energy cannon capable of obliterating entire planets, Aaron's voice came over the comms. Kane, they're targeting Earth. We need to stop that weapon, or all is lost. Kane's mind raced. They had to disable the Dominion, but it was heavily guarded. Suddenly, an idea formed. It was risky, but it might work. Aaron, can you get me on board the Dominion? Kane asked. Aaron hesitated for a moment before nodding. Yes, but it will be dangerous. You'll be on your own. Kane nodded. Just get me there. I'll take care of the rest. Within moments, Kane found himself aboard the Dominion, his Zanari stealth suit blending into the shadows. He moved quickly, making his way to the superweapons control room. The corridors were filled with Empire soldiers, but Kane's training and the suit's technology allowed him to evade detection. Finally, he reached the control room. Exerin was there, overseeing the weapon's activation. Kane knew he had to act fast. Drawing his weapon, he stepped into the room, firing at the control panels. Sparks flew as the circuits shorted out, and the weapon's power levels began to drop. Aaron turned, his eyes blazing with fury. You, human scum. I'll kill you myself. Kane and Aaron clashed, their fight a brutal dance of strength and skill. Kane's human agility and the suit's enhancements gave him an edge, but Aaron's sheer size and strength were formidable. The two exchanged blows, each one fighting with everything they had. In a final, desperate move, Kane managed to grab a power conduit, redirecting its energy into Aaron. The High Lord screamed as the electricity surged through him, his body convulsing before collapsing to the floor. With Aaron defeated, Kane disabled the superweapon, ensuring it could not be used. He activated his communicator, signaling the Coalition fleet. The superweapon is down. Finish the fight. The Coalition forces, spurred on by Kane's victory. A new dawn. The Coalition forces surged forward, rallying behind the news of General Kane's success. With their superweapon disabled and their leader defeated, the Empire's forces wavered. Panic spread through their ranks as the combined might of humanity, the Zanari, and the other resistance factions pressed the attack. One by one, the Empire's ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The once mighty fleet that had threatened to conquer Earth was shattered, its remnants fleeing into the depths of space. The battle was over. Earth had won. General Kane stood on the bridge of the Earth flagship, looking out at the battlefield. The debris of the fallen ships drifted through space, a silent testament to the cost of their victory. Aaron appeared beside him, his eyes reflecting a mix of relief and exhaustion. You did it, Aaron said quietly. You saved your world. Kane nodded, his expression solemn. We all did. This was a victory for everyone who values freedom. As the Coalition forces regrouped, Secretary General Richards addressed the people of Earth and their allies. Her voice carried a message of hope and unity that resonated across the galaxy. Today, we have shown that the desire for freedom cannot be extinguished by force. We have stood together against tyranny and emerged victorious. But this is just the beginning. We must remain vigilant, for the Empire will not rest. We will continue to fight for a galaxy where all beings can live in peace and freedom. The lesson: unity and resilience. The battle for Earth became a legend, a story passed down through generations. It served as a reminder that no matter how powerful the oppressor, the combined strength of those who stand together for justice and freedom is stronger. The lesson learned was simple but profound. Unity is a force that can challenge even the greatest of threats. Humanity's refusal to pay tribute had sparked a movement, inspiring others to resist oppression. The coalition that had formed to defend Earth grew, spreading the ideals of liberty and self-determination. The galaxy began to change, one world at a time, as more and more species joined the cause. In the end, the battle was not just about survival. It was about standing up for what was right, about fighting not just for one's own freedom, but for the freedom of all. The people of Earth had shown that they were willing to fight, not out of hatred or a desire for power, but out of a fundamental belief in the dignity and rights of every being. And so, a new era dawned, one where the light of hope burned brightly across the stars, fueled by the unity and resilience of those who dared to defy the darkness.